Hey everybody, this is Tim Mine. Jason Ramos. Jerry Gurley. We are here at Jerry's office here, playing some golf. Actually, Jerry actually uses us as his office. He comes here, he hit a few balls, talk to a few sellers, come back, hit a few more balls, and go to closings, right, Jerry? Is that a typical day?
It is.
Awesome. AC and I are here to visit Jerry and interview him about his secrets to success in 2020. What exactly what he did from going from a deal every 2 months to like doing 8-9 deals in a single month. And just in the last 30 days, he did over $50,000. So we'll go in and we'll interview Jerry on his secrets and share with you, so that way, as we're either getting started in the business or wanting to take your business to the next level, how to ramp that up and how to leverage use of private money, which we'll talk about. So we're gonna go inside the grill and continue our interview from there.
Hey guys, so like we were saying before, we're here with Jerry, and he's going to express to us some of his secrets on how he's able to turn profits of $11,000 to $14,000 a deal when other wholesalers and other investors are averaging $7,000 to $9,000 on their deals. So, we're here at his the wine cellar, I guess, at his office, and getting to enjoy some good wine and good experience and good secrets from Jerry. So
yeah, we're not here to drink. We're actually here to work. Right?
That's what we call it.
Yeah. So Jay, if you, because a lot of people don't know you yet, because soon you're gonna be like super famous, right? However, if you can start with sharing a little bit about like yourself and what were you doing before you joined us, and how were you able to ramp up your business so quickly?
Okay. Well, I've always sort of dabbled in real estate. I bought and sold houses by myself through college, and then I was a banker for a while, and then I was chief financial officer for a transportation company. Left there in July, and then in August got together with you guys, and I said I'd done a couple deals here and there, but that's certainly not in the volume. Using some of the direct marketing ideas from AC, really been able to ramp that up significantly, and put a little different twist on it. I tend to sell to end users, which pay a higher price than another investor can afford to. So rather than try to traditionally wholesale a deal where you just try to wholesale the contract, I'll actually close into the property and then list it in MLS or Green Sheet or something like that and sell it to an end user. And that gives me a significantly higher margin for transaction.
That's great. Yeah, that's I really love that. And you are like maximizing profits, the most profit for each deal for sure by doing that. In the wholesaling business, the rehabbers are the ones that pays you the least amount for your deals, and then after that would be the landlords, right? Because they pay a little bit more than rehabbers, but they still want to buy it pretty cheap. And then you get to the contractors, the ones that actually fix up the houses themselves and resell them. They pay a little bit more, and then the people that pay you the most are the people that's going to move in and live in it, and so that's the people that Jerry's going after. Just a super, super smart move to go about it.
And you said, Jerry, that you were doing a couple deals here and there. Tell them again, how many deals were you able to do per month now?
In October, we did 9.
9 deals in 1 month.
Nice.
It's not a bad month.
It was not a bad month at all. I'll take it every month.
So he deserves the wine.
Yes, and so Jay, you can share, because one of the biggest challenges that people have in terms of being able to sell to owner occupant is to be able to actually close on it, and then sell it. And so in that process, right, you need to have funds to be able to do that. You need to be able to have money to do that. Very different from a traditional wholesaling is where you're just selling the contract, you're not closing on the property, so you don't need any money to do it. But in the case where you're trying to sell to an owner-occupant buyer, then you do have to close on the first transaction and then sell it. So how have you been able to accomplish that, to actually close on the first transaction, and then like you said, put in the MLS or on the green sheets to sell it to run up.
We've done it two ways. We've done some of the transactions in our Roth 401k. We had some cash in there, and the 401k will buy it.
Nice.
A couple of different. 401k can buy it and sell it, and the proceeds are tax free. Or you can actually borrow. You can borrow $50,000 from your 401k, close it in your name personally, sell it, and then pay the 401k back. Or you can also raise private money. I did most of my transactions with my own 401k funds, but we did 5 transactions with private money. We're able to raise that from individuals, give them a significantly better rate of return than they were getting. I mean, they take money out of a 0.5% CD and put it with us at 8%, so they give themselves a 1,600% raise.
Nice. And so, what has been your strategy or your secret behind finding these private lenders?
Well, there's actually been 2 sources. Quest IRA, who does a lot of self-directed IRAs, they have mixers, and so typically people you would find there would be people who are familiar with real estate, are comfortable with taking the risk, and I will also tell you that money is a little higher priced because they're familiar with the going rate for funds, and that money is a little higher priced than other money. Another real good source that has worked out really well for us is CPAs. They are intimately familiar with the assets and income of their clients, and just talk to a CPA, tell them what you do, that you're raising private money, show them the deal. Your client can invest $27,000 in this house that's worth $60,000, so it's less than a 50% loan to value. They'll get an 8% rate, which is a 1,600% raise over the 0.5% they're getting. It's safe and secure, and so they know folks they know the risk tolerance of their clients, and so that's been a real good source for us. Tom Stanley, the guy who wrote The Millionaire Next Door, said a CPA is the most valuable financial advisor that the millionaire next door has, and so that seemed like the natural place to go.
Good tip. So I'm sure, everybody knows at least one CPA, but do you have any tips on where you can go to find a lot of them, perhaps, or find more than one? And what's if you don't know them, what's the best way to get into the door? What's the best way to get connected with them?
The best way to kind of large international firms, the Big Four accounting firms, they're too big for mom and pop entrepreneurs who have net worth to manage. Those are corporate audit clients, so that's not any place to go. And doing one at a time is kind of a challenge just for volume. So if you can get with a small to mid-sized firm that has somewhere between 4 and 15 CPAs, you can talk to 15 CPAs at one time. The easiest way to get in the front, look them up on the internet, give them a call, talk to an administrative assistant, and tell them what you're looking for. And then don't try to get their boss's email, because they're not going to give that to you. Have a 2-paragraph summary of what you're looking for, send it to the administrative assistant, let her circulate it amongst the partners, and if somebody's interested, they'll call you back. Now, I will tell you that the couple of months before April 15th is a real bad time to try to talk to a CPA.
Right.
Because they're crazy with tax time. But that's, you can get the email's address from the assistant. You can send it to her, she'll forward it on to her boss, because they've been taught to be very protective of their boss's email information because they don't want to be spammed. And you can do that. If you do that 10 times a day, you'll get 3 calls. And out of those 3 calls, you'll get 1 meeting, and out of that meeting, you'll get a deal.
Nice.
And because and it's very low key, it's not a high pressure sale. It's this is what I've got to offer. It's less than 50%. It's local real estate. It's low risk. It's significantly higher return. And I actually had a CPA that I had lunch with. I'd sent an email to his assistant. He called me back a couple of days later. We had lunch, and he said, "Well, I don't know any of my clients, but I'd be real interested." So not only do you tap their client base, but then they belong to places like Bay Oaks. They know engineers and lawyers and other people who have a need to increase their interest income.
Right, which reminds me of something. So where we're at right now is Bay Oaks Country Club, which is a club that Jerry belongs to. And so, just out of curiosity, have you gotten business out of being a member here and get connected?
3 of my transactions came from here.
Nice. Okay, so joining Country Club is another great way.
Secret tip right there.
Yes. And what just out of those 3 transactions, what type of occupations, what kind of professionals are they?
One was a doctor, one was an engineer, and one was a CPA.
Okay, nice. So so that that brings a point that any professionals out there that makes a lot of money but don't have a lot of time, like doctors and lawyers and CPAs and engineers, where they work a lot, they make a lot of money, and so they're always looking for a passive way to get their money working for them. So another great source for you to find private money.
And I sort of modeled a profile, created a profile of my typical investor, so I know when I see that is they are typically at least over 55. They have either been an entrepreneur or a highly paid professional, lawyer, engineer, or CPA, architect, something like that. And so they are typically married. The kids are typically at college or beyond college, and they are either retired or within 10 years of retirement. So that they are looking for ways, as you say, to ramp up their passive income.
Nice. I like that. I like that tip. Thank you. Yeah, and then also too, another type of private lenders that a lot of people don't think about is just your friends and family. You'd be surprised. Like my first private lender was my sister. Yeah. And if you just ask around your friends and family, there'll be there's a lot of people that have money sitting in the savings account or in CDs, which don't pay much at all, that they would love to be able to make more money off of that. And when we talk about private money, there's short-term money and there's long-term money. So a lot of deals that you're going to do where you're buying it and you're selling it to an owner-occupant buyer, assuming you're not going to owner finance it. So let's just say you're going to sell to an owner financing buyer that's going to get a loan and cash you out, for example. Then that money is very short. It's like 1 to 3 months kind of long term, or even a rehab, right? A typical rehab deals, especially in today's real estate market, it's anywhere from 3 to 6 months. So these terms are very short, and so one of the strategies that I use to get a lot of like short term money, especially for for the kind of deals that I know I'm going to turn within 30 to 60 days. If I know I'm not going to use that money for a long time, I tell people how they can earn up to 24% return on their money. And the way that works is that I'll pay them 2% per month that I'm holding the money. So if I'm turning their money for 12 months straight, that's 24% return. And when you talk those kind of numbers, like people love to hear that making 20+%. That's really unheard of. And when you really think about it, let's say you're going to buy a deal, let's say you buy a deal today, and then you close on it, you have it sold, let's say, 3 weeks later. That's only 3 weeks. So you're paying them for that 30 days, and then you're going to use their money again on the next deal and the next deal. So it's transactional, right? And they see that money coming back to them, and then once you do a few of those, they'll get more acquainted with you, and then you can start borrowing money at a longer term as well. But yeah, that's just a really great strategy to go. And every time I taught that to people, I mean, they literally go out there and find like tons of money, because who wouldn't want to have a 24% return on their money?
The other thing is, after you take care of those people on several different transactions, who do you know? Who do you know who wants to have this, that would like to have the same kind of experience you've had?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, referrals is a big part of our business.
Absolutely.
Good, cool. Well, AC, you have any?
Well, I just would like to express, in your opinion, I know it seems intimidating for people to say, hey, contact these people, talk to CPAs or whoever. When you actually approach these people that you're asking for this money, what's the typical response? Do people bite your head off and be like, I can't believe you're asking me this?
Typically it's gratitude, because you are solving a massive problem. Most folks, retirees, in today's economic environment, when they're facing the Federal Reserve's zero interest rate policy and essentially a Federal Reserve war on savers, they don't get any yield, and they have two choices. They either learn to live on a 0.5% interest on their assets, or they take crazy risk in the stock market, and they can vaporize overnight. So it is typically gratitude because you're solving a massive problem for them. You're helping them maintain their financial dignity. And so it's gratitude. Everyone's looking to stretch their income, make it increase, and gratitude is the dominant. Sometimes they'll say, I don't understand it, or I'm not comfortable with the risk, all of which are fine, but they're grateful for the opportunity to hear about it. And even if it's not for them, who do you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and you'd be surprised, because like a lot of people think that talking to a private lender, it's like borrowing money or begging for money from your Uncle Bob, right? It's totally not like that at all. The private lender wants your business just as much as you want their business, because like what Jerry was talking about, they don't want the 0.5% return, interest on their money. They want their money working hard for them. So that way, they can retire young, retire rich, like Jerry's doing, and so yeah, they want your business, and so yeah, just go out there, talk to them, and even if they're not interested, like Jerry said, who else do you know? So with that, Jerry, do you have any last, tips or a secret that you'd like to impart with everybody?
I think probably the secret to raising private money is to think about it all the time. Every time you see someone that private money can come from the craziest sources. You're talking to someone at church, telling them about a deal that you're working on, and tell them that you're looking for private money. And they know someone, or it's extremely easy to say, this is the deal I'm working on, and I'd like to look for a private investor. I know this deal is not for you, but do you know anybody who might be interested?
I like that.
And you well, why isn't it for me? Well, I didn't know if you would, if you like this part, you like this part, and then once you build up a track record, then it goes. Because one question that I had is, well, what if you're wrong about the value? Well, I'm probably not 50% wrong, but I bought that for $7 and sold it for $30. A picture book. I bought this for $7, I sold it for $30. Next page, I bought this for $8, I sold it for $29, and just build a credibility with everyone that you meet with. Once you get the first deal, word of mouth is vital. Take care of everyone that you do business with. They ought to be thrilled to hear from you. That's how well they've been taken care of.
Awesome. Great tip. So make sure you take notes on that. Press rewind if you need to. But yeah, thank you so much, Gary, for sharing your secrets with us, and
it's been my pleasure.
Yeah, your generosity in doing this interview with us.
My pleasure.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes.
Yes, and with that, go ahead and opt in, and we'll the next video we have for you is a video on 3 best ways that we find private money, so that way continue to expand continue to teach some really good stuff. So make sure you do that, opt in right now, and we'll see you on the other side.